Welcome back to the Wanderlust Saga, Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, and we are getting toward the end of this game, and if I remember correctly, I'm going to need to do something fun for this next one, because we're getting towards the end, having just a couple optional boss fights left. There's this one, and then there's one in Neverland that we're going to try and do today. Both give us something important that we need for completionism. Fuck. Let's ride on the carpet. So, this is going to be interesting. Welcome to Kurziza. I think that's what it's named. Anyways, this boss fight's interesting, and you're gonna kind of see it here. So, I can't cast magic so long as he has these orbs in his hands. I think that goes for Goofy and Donald too. Which is why they drop a whole bunch of health, is because they expect that at this point, I can still use my special commands, but can't heal, I can't use arrow. And he seems to be okay, let's and we do a whole bunch of damage to him and then make sure to get my wind back up. I think now he can only be hit by magic. I think then Thunder's just like the best way to deal with this. Okay. Come on. Come on. I need some more MP. I appreciate you obliging me. Okay. And basically those are his two phases. It's very difficult if you don't understand how he fights. Okay. I also have elixirs in my pocket from doing the okay. Okay, cool. And that's getting me back up. Yeah, this is one of those things, like, it's hard to talk during because I gotta concentrate on what he's doing at all times, but at the same time, the fight isn't, like, the most difficult fight that I've ever done. It's just annoying. I probably wanted thunder on my...
Thunder! Thunder! Here! Here! Thunder! Thunder! Here! Thunder! Here! Here! Thunder! Wind! Thunder! Stop! This should help. Thunder! Thunder!
Okay. And this should be it. Yeah! What up? As far as I know, he's not really story relevant or anything like that. He does give you cool ability, and Ansem Report 11. That's really what we needed. I don't even think I really ever use that suit skin. It's because you get it so late, right after this, and... honestly, it's not like it's... that's not like a huge, like... ooh, ability. Now, the next one's gonna be significantly harder. First of all, we can't take Goofy or Donald for this fight, because we have to have Peter Pan. I'm debating on which one I want. I'm leaning towards Goofy. Just because Goofy can give me... he does a lot of damage, and he can give me his MP. So, Donald, I think you're out. Probably gonna regret not putting some stuff on my bar, but... what is it, Tink? You want us to go to the clock tower? It's up to you, Sora. Let's go. Okay. Okay, let's fly together. Yay. It's gonna be a doozy. The Phantom. I can't actually even attack the Phantom right now. Okay.
See ya!
Okay.
Wind! Here!
Okay, this... that does a lot of damage. Okay. I don't think I can attack him. And if you are curious why I keep whoop, doing what I'm doing with the clock, it is avoiding losing a party member. So basically, he casts an ability called Doom. Doom.
Heal. Stop.
Okay. Once this clock ticks down, we'll take out Peter Pan. Does not matter what's going on.
Defense.
I should have, like, magicked myself up. Okay, and... Dang it. So...
Here.
I'm probably, like,
See ya.
definitely
See ya.
casting stop more than I need to.
Freeze.
But I'd rather cast it more than I need to than lose a party member. Let's try and wait this out. See if I can do 2 rounds of him.
Fire. Fire. Fire.
Okay, I can do 2 rounds of him.
Here. Thunder. Deep freeze. Heal. Wind.
Okay, and this costs a lot
This should help.
of MP.
Fire. See ya. See ya.
I think his cloak blocks.
Fire. See ya. Stop.
Okay.
Deep freeze. Wind. Fire. Fire.
And we see his last health bar at this point, which that in and of itself is kind of amazing. Okay, I kind of just want to let them take care of it, but it doesn't look like he's gonna let them.
See ya.
Got it. Okay.
Defense. Deep freeze. Stop.
Okay. And that's... Ooh, that's always a lovely one to get.
Deep freeze.
Oop. I might be able to make a 3rd round of this. And all its fails I can probably let the number drop just a little bit.
Defense. Here. Stop. Fire.
Yep, got that. He's gonna do his Yuki little thing. This is in some ways harder
Fire.
than Sephiroth because Sephiroth definitely felt a lot more
Freeze.
chaotic.
Defense. Here. Stop.
Okay,
Here.
got it.
Thunder.
Ooh. Power of Time. Stopra to Stopga. That is actually the last optional boss. So we have done all the boss work. I think Wendy's still hanging around here. At one time, this chest used to be more important, and I'm glad it's not. And I wonder if they took out the doors in Final Mix, because I don't think I've ever seen these doors light up. They may have. It wasn't anything ever important. But that used to be a Dalmatian. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to come back to Traverse Town. Because we need to pick something up. I wish it still popped up with the achievements, but unfortunately I already have the achievements for getting all of the shields, the keyblades, and the staves. Well, this is quite impressive. Here's something for your effort. Dream Rod. It's very special. Take good care of it. I don't think you can get the Dream Sword at all. But if we look at my status, 0 XP to level. So I'm actually gonna switch up my gear. Crystal Crown and 2 Cosmic Arts. So this gives me a crap ton of stuff. I probably should have done this after Kurziza. But you know. And equipment. I actually want to give Donald, since he is not finished leveling, one of these things. Donald, why do you have to be such bad? I want you to have MP Rage. We don't need Jackpot or really Treasure Magnet at this point. So let's do that and then go equipment. Donald. This one's just actually kind of good for you to have. Let's just raise his defense. Let's give him that one. Cool. So, I actually don't even want to be here right now. We're gonna go to, I think, Deep Jungle. Okay, and I am gonna mention something, because I think it's something I am gonna skip over, because it's something we've technically done. But it is, like, if you're completionisting Jiminy's Journal... Oh no, okay. I was worried. Sometimes these don't show up the first time, and I don't know why they didn't the first time I played this, but they're showing up. So this shows all the Colosseum. I do still need to do the Hades Cup, which I will eventually. But we're gonna do a funny mini game. I think this will probably be the last thing that we do today. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on how long it takes. So, the fun mini game, I'm gonna tentatively say, because I'm not sure how fun it is to watch, but it's interesting to say the least. Okay, so gather the fruits. So there are some fruits, 10 fruits to be exact, and I can speed up or slow down as I want. In some places I will want to slow down. I'm just taking my time right now. And I just tried to attack with my Hollow Knight sword. Cool, we obtained an elixir. This is not the entire minigame. The minigame actually... It's the only thing I really dislike about this minigame. Is... The easiest way to deal with this minigame is to do this repetitively. Because you always have to start from this spot. Which, I don't mind that you have to start from the same space every time, but at least give me the choice, if I wish, to never leave this. I'm assuming it's because they assume that you don't do this in one sitting, but I am, and so please let me do this in one sitting. Okay, and now there's a new path. This is best content, most engaging. Which is why, if you ever watch a lot of people, and this is probably the one that I feel like, it gets progressively where you want to slow down more and more to line up. Because missing one of these guys means you have to start over from the beginning. Well, not like, the path will still be opened up to here, but I have to restart. Great job, Tarzan. Nope. Okay. AP up. That probably would have been useful earlier in the game. Which is some of those things, like, some of these things would have been useful to have earlier, but not that useful, because, like, one of the things that you can get, I believe, is dark matter. I think we finally hit the one place where this takes you where it's not faster to leave the world and come back. Because I can go up here. Because I'm doing basically the same number. Basically the same number of load zones. Tunnel. If you count one of those as the gummy ship. And the fact that it spawned me, halfway there. So, my foot's falling asleep, which is probably not going to help me complete this flawless. I'm trying to remember if there are 4 or 5 stages to this. I want to say 5. Which doesn't necessarily... Okay. Basically, if you stay in the center here, you're pretty good. Problem is it's ever so slightly deviates you from the center. And then we're also gaining speed, which we don't want to gain speed for up here. Up here, it's a little trickier. Because there's like this weird amount of drift that you get. Like you can do drifting, and I'm like, I don't need that, but I don't know, like as mini games go, like this isn't unenjoyable. Is that an enjoyable word? I don't know. It's not enjoyable. I do find myself having a little bit of fun with this. It's just... And there is a certain amount of skill here. And memory, because I gotta remember where all these things are. Especially on this one, where it kind of like... Yep, there's the dark matter. That would have been useful for synthesis. I made several pieces of dark matter. I want to say there are 5. I want to say that gets up to 50. Yeah. This one, obviously, it's not better to run back because it's literally the other side of the map. Oh, is it this guy? Yeah, it is. I don't... Another mechanic that I don't... Oh, also, let's just... For giggles. Whee! Down again. Gather them fruits. Let's see if I can do this a little faster. I have had it, I think, bounce me out of the way. Which is, there's also, you know, if you're gonna do collect mini games like this, especially high-speed ones, don't put collision on your fruit that you gotta collect. Fun tip. Wish I could just stop. Cast stop. Stops. What's going on? Give me time to just let Sora walk. Okay. I'm gonna speed through this a little bit. Okay, and we slow up to a crawl. And part of the problem with this is the fact that basically, dang it. Restart. What does it make me restart from? Oh, well, it just takes me back out of here. Cool. Yeah, I missed one. So you miss any of them, and that's like, that is the one to miss. Is one of them, really any of them in that room. Okay. Okay, and if this was a little bit more like an infinite runner, like Temple Run or the Sonic Dash one, Sonic Dash I think is what it's called, where there were tracks, I think this would be a lot easier, because like that weird like spasm out I wouldn't worry about as much, but it's not. Like I have an infinite range of movements, and you can like get off there if you don't like make sure you're on the right side, which I'm gonna have to remember. It's on the other side for the next one, which is weird. I'm gonna screw with me. Okay. Come on. Can I not slow down? I want to say this one's on the outside. Get back to center. And another one in center. Then I gotta be on this side, because we're going up. I'm fine being slow. Let's just stay slow. Or, you know, that, you know, this would be infinitely easier if you got me. I had a slightly better angle on this. Yes, this I'm aware is probably not the most intriguing. Oh crap, there's two that I missed. Dang it. Ooh, spicy. Because they weren't in the center, and everything starts to run together color-wise. Some people probably saw it, but I didn't. Got it. That would have sucked. At least failing on this, it's the shortest amount of time wasted. Yeah, there is one after that, and I know it, because I know what the last level of this looks like. And that was not it. Okay, and let's slow up. Good. Feel the need to like micromanage where Sora was at. That's probably a lot easier. But I feel like if I just leave him in like a neutral, I'm gonna miss one. Because they're gonna, especially in this one where you can't like tell left, right, center. Because the fruits seem to be like on tracks. Like the ones that are on the outside. These ones are on the outside. The next ones are on the inside. And the next one after this is also, well, yeah, on the inside. Kind of the left, right, and center sort of thing. Okay, so I'm gonna have to remember as we come up towards the end, there are some... Okay. To the left. And the next ones are to the left, and they're not for a hot minute yet. Okay, got it. Whew. And then the next one's gonna be that way. Oh, or is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, but this is gonna take some time. I don't think that's finished. No. Again, it just kind of puts you in a random... Like, it always brings me out there, but that's like very random place to put me. You actually lived. Well, I guess everything must die. Well, that didn't even work. Well, you know. And hopefully this is the last run that we do of it. It's very possible that I'll do another one. I'll have to be doing 2 or 3 tries, but I can hope I can get it in one. Get it in one! So it's really fun to like be almost done with this game. And like I have some plans, which unfortunately shifted a little bit. I think I talked a little bit about them in one of the grind episodes. That we're going to do something a little bit different because of days. Because I don't have the required hardware to record 358/2 days. I need a modified DS that can output to HDMI, and I don't have that, nor can I really afford one. Nor is that where I particularly wish to spend my money right now. I'd rather like, try and make this streaming experience better in general. Like, because I know on the streaming end, I occasionally drop frames. What the heck was that? This is why, oh. That's why I micromanage Sora's position. And this is why 100%ing this game, some parts of it, I would just honestly say don't. Like, if you want to skip this, this is only if you're being completionist. Or if you are playing standard. One of them you need to do it on, and I can't remember which one it is. Proud, you literally just need to beat the game, I believe. Yeah, Proud is just beat the game for the secret movie. And if you didn't know there was a secret movie, hey, there's a secret movie at the end, which we will watch and talk about. It's not very long. It's just kind of a teaser. Okay, there we go. But it does come at the end, and depending on your difficulty depends on what you need to do to unlock it. Proud is the easiest to beat the game. And each game changes it up a little bit, but it is something all Kingdom Hearts games pretty much do, is that there's some secret tidbits at the end. Except for, I believe, there is one that doesn't. And that one is, if you play Fragmentary Passage. Fragmentary Passage doesn't have extra bits. It is literally what you get. What you see is what you get. And that's really because that was basically like a really nice in-engine test for Kingdom Hearts 3. You don't know what I'm talking about. We'll get there. We'll get there. But okay. There is a secret movie, and for doing it on standard, dang it. Let's at least look at this before I completely restart and start over. Show you what's past here. This, which is really cool. Like, I really like this one, and it's even not all that difficult. I just missed one of them. And I'm gonna restart though because I missed 2 total. That's a weird angle for the camera to be at. But yeah, so if you play it on standard, you have to complete Jiminy's Journal. This is part of Jiminy's Journal. I don't even think I'm necessarily going to be completing Jiminy's Journal. I may complete it. I'll have to look when I get done whether it will be all marked as complete. We did all the Trinities. We did all of... This will be one of the last couple mini games that need to be done. Coliseum being the other. And I may stream this weekend me doing 80s Cup, and obviously that'll get thrown at the end because I don't think, and I'm actually kind of surprised, I don't think that I will be done this week. I was kind of unsure. But it's either I will be doing 80s Cup on a stream, or I will be doing 80s Cup as a part of an episode. I might do it tomorrow, actually. I might do Hades Cup tomorrow. which is going to be today, before this episode even goes up. I'm just thinking ahead because, to be quite honest, I don't know. Because I expected Courier, Ziza, and Phantom to take longer. But they did. Don't get me wrong, like, I'm not upset that I didn't waste my life away on those two, trying to kill them. I had an easier time with them than I did Ursula, and I think that says something about the Ursula fight. So, yeah, I actually have a bit of time tomorrow, which is weird. I don't usually think about the fact that I'll have, like, time. I have the day off tomorrow. Weird. But since I do have it, yes. I don't want to do this again. I want to be done. It's actually going to be a kind of chunky episode because of this. I didn't expect it to become that much longer because of this. Okay, power up, and I think this is it. Like, we get out of this, and ta-da! And it just brings it back here. Yeah. So, does that? Journal. Okay. So I think that's all of Jungle Slider. Yeah, I think that's all of Jungle Slider. Because there wasn't like another path off of it. So, now that we're done with this, I am thinking that we will, and unfortunately I'm not going to be doing it after this goes live because this is going to go, hey, this asshole. Okay, I'm just going to show you real fast. Like, that's not super hard. I can tell that guy's right there. Oh, and he actually was nice and gave me a lightning stone. That's super rare. He doesn't usually do that. Even this, I can kind of tell where he's at. I'm gonna get back, and some of you will be able to track this. I can't. I think he's over here. Nope. He was the one over further. I just lose track of him so easily. That's why I disliked that. Oh, hey guys. So much is it just got ridiculous. So, all things considered, what we have left. The gummy ship missions. I apparently have finished Wonderland, which was score 120 or higher, set off and use haste 5 or more times, which I remember doing that, and collect 40 or more somethings. Don't know what it is. I don't think I've done this one, because yeah, Olympus, set off from Olympus and collect 30 or more shield blocks. And then I have one past that. The Olympus Coliseum, set off from Deep Jungle with only a Thundara G as a weapon, destroy 70 or more enemy ships. This is going to be what we're doing tomorrow. And get a score of 200 or higher, because I don't think I've ever flown to this the second time, because you can't do the mission the first time. Slow and steady destruction, obtain a score of 330 or higher. 220 or more enemy ships without using the brakes. That's actually the second one for that one. I think I can do that. Set off from Atlantica with only Thunder G as a weapon. Destroy 150 or more enemy ships. 10 or more armor blocks. This doesn't have any gummy ship missions because you can't fly to it. Technically, you can warp to it, but it won't let you just fly. Set off from Netherland with only Ultima G as a weapon. Destroy 130 more enemy ships. And use 2 gummy blocks and arrive without taking damage or using the brakes. That'll be interesting. So yeah, that's kind of the stuff that we've got planned for tomorrow. I'm gonna actually go to Traverse Town. Just for a second, even though this isn't probably where we're gonna want to start off with, we're gonna spend a lot of time in the gummy ship. In gummy ship menus tomorrow. And possibly on Friday. Depends on, like, that's where I'm really unsure whether we'll be done this week or next week. I really don't know. I really don't know. How's Donald doing? 5,000 EXP to the next level, and then he's got one more level after that, which is cool. But there's something I wanted to do. So I would like to go to our journal. First of all, characters. Heartless. So we've done, and while it still says new, I don't know why, we've done the Shadow, but Shadow, Giga Shadow, Soldier, all of these guys we've done before, and I may come back to them and like do a full at the end, kind of as like a cool after the fact thing, but we've gotten all these guys. Sniper Wilds, Bouncy Wilds, Power Wilds. That's that guy. That he sucks. That's what he does. Hot Spiders, Barrel Spiders, Hot Scorpion. He's a fun guy. Search Ghost, Grand Ghost, and I believe I did this one because I talked about how I didn't realize that doing weapon attacks actually caused him to drop items. Sea Neons, Screwdrivers, Battleships, Air Pirates, Chimera, that fun guy. Okay. And I'm gonna go through all these guys going forward. I think we've done white, black. I don't know if we've done rare. Inky Garcus, Colossal Heartless, Dark Side, Guard Armor, Red Armor, Opposite Armor, Brickmaster, Stealth Sneak, Hot Centipede, Parasite Cage. Okay. Neo Shadow. A Heartless that travels in packs. Combining their powers allows them to attack Sora while also healing themselves, leaving even just one alive will never... I don't know what I was... Meh. A Heartless that travels in packs. Combining their powers allow them to attack Sora while also healing themselves, leaving even just one of them alive will result in a never-ending battle. Defeated 42. Sneak Army. A Heartless similar to, but more powerful than Stealth Sneak. They stay hidden and attack while nimbly darting around. Even one is hard to handle, a pair can be found participating in the Coliseum tournament. Kurt Zisa. Heartless that emerged from the keyhole opened by the princess. It swung its 6 powerful arms to attack Sora and company and block their attacks, but Sora sought out its weakness and emerged the victor. The Phantom. Ghost-like Heartless that haunted the clock tower standing far away from Neverland. Fluttering its eerie cloak, it cast a spell to take Sora's heart. Having no physical body, regular attacks were useless. But in the end, Sora and company discovered its weakness and prevailed. And I love how he looks. He's a fun design. Really, Kurt Zisa is too. Like let's not. This is probably gonna date me right now. This is the Aladdin TV show. If you were unaware, Disney's Aladdin did have a TV show, and it was really actually kind of cool. And this is very reminiscent of some of that show. So. Let's look at other characters. The Crocodile, a seagoing reptile big enough to swallow a man whole. And he's always hungry. He's got a taste of Hook once and never forgot it. Hook can tell when he's near by the sound of the clock ticking away in his stomach. He has had a taste for Captain Hook in Peter Pan, 1953. Winnie the Pooh, A bear living in the 100-acre wood. His favorite food is honey. Being a bear of very little brain, he's a bit absent-minded. Sometimes he even forgets what it was he was trying to remember. He warmed up the screen in Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree in 1966. Piglet, Pooh's best friend in the 100-acre wood. Tiny, timid Piglet is startled by just about anything. When that happens, he covers his eyes with his floppy ears. He appeared on a Wednesday in Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day in 1968. Tigger. Tigger loves to bounce more than anything. Sometimes his bouncing gets out of hand, but he doesn't mean any harm. Beneath that happy-go-lucky exterior beats a sensitive, gentle heart. He bounced onto the scene in Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day in 1968. Owl, the wisest resident of the 100-acre wood. Whenever anyone has a question he can't answer, he asks Owl, though Owl isn't always right. Owl likes to talk, but sometimes he puts his listeners to sleep. He showed us the wisdom of his ways in Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree in 1966. Rabbit. Rabbit is an earnest, hardworking member of the 100-acre wood community. He keeps to himself but lends a hand when others need him. He's not always comfortable around the exuberant Tigger. He appeared in Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree in 1966. And I'm actually going to get back to this because not everyone, I think, might be all that interested in this. We aren't going to read the chronicles, just so you know. This is basically everything that happened. I might use these to recap the game in an afterward, because it's a nice little script. We're going to do this thing that we haven't done yet, which is all these Ansem reports. So, let's get into this. And I think that music just doesn't suit this. So, Ansem's Report 1. Much of my life has been dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. That knowledge has guarded this world well. Not that a soul doubts that. I am blessed with my people's smiles and respect. But though I am called a sage, there are things I do not understand. I believe darkness sleeps in every heart, no matter how pure. Given the chance, the smallest drop can spread and swallow the heart. I have witnessed it many times. Darkness. Darkness of the heart. How is it born? How does it come to affect us so? As a ruler of this world, I must find the answers. I must find them before this world is lost to those taken by darkness. Ansem's Report 2. It is my duty to expose what this darkness really is. I shall conduct the following experiments. Extract the darkness from a person's heart. Cultivate darkness in a pure heart. Both suppress and amplify the darkness within. The experiments caused the test subject's heart to collapse, including those of the most stalwart. How fragile our hearts are. My treatment produced no signs of recovery. I confined those who completely lost their hearts beneath the castle. Some time later, I went below and was greeted by the strangest sight. Creatures that seem born of darkness. What are they? Are they truly sentient beings? Could they be the shadows of those who lost their hearts in my experiments? Ansem's Report 3. The shadows that crawl beneath the castle. Are they the people who lost their hearts, or incarnations of darkness, or something beyond imagination? All my knowledge has provided no answer. One thing I am sure of is that they are entirely devoid of emotion. Perhaps further study will unlock the mysteries of the heart. Fortunately, there is no shortage of test samples. They are multiplying underground even as I write this report. They still need a name. Those who lack hearts. I will call them the Heartless. Ansem's Report number 4. The Heartless appear in groups and are multiplying rapidly. I provided them with both living and non-living samples. They've responded only to the living. They seem to multiply after absorbing something from the living creature. Their prey vanishes without a trace. I believe the Heartless are taking hearts. They are born from those who lost their hearts and thrive on hearts seized from others. The hearts taken by the heartless become heartless themselves. Though I lack proof, I'm confident in this hypothesis. I must also study their behavioral principles. Though they lack emotions, they do seem to have some intelligence. How to communicate with them? It just occurred to me. Could they be the darkness in people's heart? But it's a lot of talking. Okay. Ansem Report 5. To study heartless behavior, I picked one out for observation. It winkled its antennae and, as if sensing a target, headed deep into the castle. In the deepest part of the castle, its antenna began vibrating as if searching for something. Suddenly, a strange door appeared. I'd never known of its existence. It had a large keyhole, but didn't seem to be locked, so I opened the door. What I saw on the other side mystified me. What was that powerful mass of energy? That night, I observed a great meteor shower in the sky. Could it be related to the door that I have opened? Ansem Report 6. A massive core of energy lay beyond the door sought by the Heartless. It may well be the ultimate goal of all Heartless, but what is that energy? I have devised a hypothesis based on my observations of the Heartless. The Heartless feed on others' hearts, and they yearn for that energy core. That thing beyond the door must be a heart, too. The heart of this world. There is no proof, but having felt that immense energy, I am certain that was the heart of the world. The Heartless are trying to take hearts not only from living creatures, but from the world itself. But what do they mean to do with the heart of the world? Ansem's Report 7. I am now studying material from the meteors that rained down that fateful night. What a find! The material is foreign to our world. It's elastic to the touch, and when two pieces are combined, they bond easily. No records I have scoured even mention such a substance. Was it introduced to this world when I opened that door? I wonder how many other such materials drift through the atmosphere of this tiny world. I wish I could soar off and find out. Could there be uncharted worlds up there? My curiosity never ceases to grow, but I should stop speaking of such unrealistic dreams. For there is no way to venture outside this world. My people and I are all but prisoners of this tiny place. Ansem's Report 8. There is no doubt that the Heartless are deeply connected to people's hearts. Further study may unravel both their motivations and the mysteries shrouding the heart. As a start, I have built a device that artificially creates Heartless. By recreating the conditions that spawn the Heartless naturally, I should be able to produce them artificially. This device is the culmination of all my research thus far. The machine's test run successfully created a Heartless. This may be a step towards creating a heart from nothing. The artificially and naturally created Heartless show nearly identical traits, but the two types should remain distinct for the purposes of this experiment, so I will mark the ones I created artificially. And I'm just going to make a comment about that is, if you noticed, I'm going to go to some Heartless, so shadows, they're not marked. Shadows are just black blobs. Giga shadows similarly. Soldiers, on the other hand, have a mark on their chest. And most of the Heartless have hearts on their chest. There are certain ones that, like the Xeneon has that same red heart. And that's what we're talking about. Dark balls don't? Do defenders? Yes, defenders do. Wyverns do. Wizards do. Wizards do. Behemoths do. Invisibles don't. They have a heart carved out of their chest, but they are not marked in the same way. Angel stars have the mark. Neo shadows do not. Again, there are far more that do than don't, but it is something to note that there is this difference in Heartless. Simply astonishing. Today I had a guest from another world. He's a king, and his vessel is built from the material that composed the meteors. He called the pieces gummy blocks. It seems that my opening that door has opened a path to interworld travel. We talked for countless hours, but one story in particular caught my interest, that of a key called the Keyblade. The Keyblade is said to hold phenomenal power. One legend says its wielder saved the world, while another says he wrought chaos and ruin upon it. I must know what this Keyblade is. The key opens doors. It must be connected to the door that I have opened. Ansom's Report 10. Just as people have hearts, so do worlds. The same can be said of the stars in the night sky. And deep within each world lies a door to its heart. The heartless desire those hearts. Born out of the darkness in people's hearts, they seek to return to a greater heart. Yes, that's it. The heartless come from people's hearts, as does the darkness. Is the core of the world's heart the world of the heartless? I will pursue the answer there, and become all-knowing. My path is set. I shall seek out the wielder of the Keyblade and the princesses. My body is too frail for such a journey, but I must do this. I will cast it off and plunge into the depths of darkness. Ansem Report 11. Opening the door to a world's heart causes its walls to crumble. These fragments are seen as shooting stars. This explains why these gummy blocks can travel freely to other worlds. I know the catalyst of the collapse, the appearance of the Heartless. However, it will take time to search out the world's doors and retrieve each heart. Furthermore, the doors can be locked using a Keyblade, making the heart forever unattainable. I must take action before the wielder of this key appears in this world. If the princesses and the Keyblade are connected, they should resonate. I have chosen a girl. I don't know if she holds the princess's powers, but I will find out. She may lead me to the key bearer. I shall set her free and observe. Ansem Report 12. The body is gone. The heart should have returned to the heartless, and yet nothing. This one is unlike any other. Its memories remain, and it has yet to take the form of a heartless. A close eye must be kept on the situation. Much is still unknown. To get to the realm of darkness, one must go through the doors of Kingdom Hearts, the place where the world's hearts connect. Beyond this world is a place which darkness reigns. Details shall be archived in a separate report. There are many worlds in existence, some of which we know nothing about. The world in which we live, the realm of darkness, the realm of light, and the world in between, wherein lies true nirvana. Ansom's Report 13. Where does the body go when it separates from the heart? If the soul remains within the body, is it still considered to be deceased? When the heart returns to the heartless, the physical form disappears, but that is merely true in this world. Perhaps the body exists in another form in another world. If that is the case, then it is possible for one to exist in two worlds. A being that is neither darkness nor light, belonging nowhere, abandoned by its heart. Mere shell of its former self. The relation between the heart and body is complex. However, I am certain that if your self exists here, then by definition the other cannot truly exist. The other, the one which does not exist, shall be dubbed Nobody. Okay, going back to characters, and I'm going to take a little bit longer going through. There are quite a few pages of characters. I'm at the last page, so I'll try and be fast. Eeyore. Timid, retiring Eeyore lives in a little house in the roots of a tree. His tail is held on by a tack, but it keeps falling off and getting lost. Now he's wandering in the woods, looking for a new home. He reluctantly appeared in Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree in 1966. Roo. Roo dreams of bouncing as well as Tigger someday. He's mischievous, energetic, and fearless, but grows uneasy when Tigger is not around. He hopped onto the screen in Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree in 1966. Okay, let's go back to the first. Dumbo, a baby circus elephant. He was taunted because of his huge ears, but his talent for flying made him the star of the circus. These are the controls for which you can use him if you summon him. He first flew onto the screen in Dumbo in 1941. Bambi, a young deer, a son of a great stag who rules the forest. He prances around and gives you items. The more foes Sora defeats, the better the items become. The type of item he gives varies depending on the area. Also, an explanation of his summon. The Forest Prince was born in Bambi, 1941. Mushu, one of the guardian spirits of an ancient clan. He was banished by the other guardians because of his foolish ways. Though small, he has the power of a great dragon. More explanation of how to use this summon. This ancient dragon heated things up in Mulan, 1998. Simba, the leader of the Pride. He rules over the other animals of the Pride Lands, his Savannah Kingdom. And some more directions on how to use his summon. He roared onto the scene in The Lion King, 1994. Alice. Alice fell down the rabbit hole into Wonderland. Arrested upon suspicion of trying to steal the Queen's heart, Sora and his friends proved her innocence, but the Heartless captured her as part of their plan to open the final keyhole. She fell down the rabbit hole in Alice in Wonderland in 1951. Queen of Hearts, a queen of Wonderland who lives in a castle with decks and decks of card soldiers. Selfish and short-tempered, she beheads anyone who crosses her. She thinks Alice tried to steal her heart. She struck terror in our hearts in Alice in Wonderland 1951. I'm going to stop saying the years after the first one going forward. Cards, Hearts. Spear-carrying guards who serve the Queen of Hearts. They fear the short-tempered queen and are careful not to irritate her. Card Spades. Troops with heavy axes who serve the Queen of Hearts. They fear their short-tempered queen and are careful not to irritate her. Marched onto the scene in Alice in Wonderland. Does this also say, yeah. The White Rabbit. Loyal servant to the Queen of Hearts. He led Sora and his friends to the Queen of Hearts castle. He wasn't late for his appearance in Alice in Wonderland. The Cheshire Cat. Mysterious, grinning cat who talks in riddles and can appear and disappear at will. He loves to mislead and confuse. He entered with a big smile in Alice in Wonderland. The Doorknob. A talking doorknob in the door to Wonderland. To enter, you must turn him, and one good turn deserves another, as he would say. Doorknob was the only character in Alice in Wonderland who didn't first appear in the original story. Hercules, a legendary hero with godlike strength. He's the son of Zeus and Hera, but not a god himself. The people regard Hercules as a true hero. He went from 0 to hero in Hercules 1997. Philoctetes. Phil, the satyr, is a veteran trainer of heroes and Herc's mentor. These days, he's very busy running the Colosseum and choosing competitors suitable for the games. He came out of retirement in Hercules. Hades, Lord of the Underworld. He's using the Heartless to try and take over the world. Hades wants Herc and Sora out of the way, but all his schemes against Sora and the others seem to end in failure. He heated things up in Hercules. Cerberus, guardian of the entrance to the underworld and Hades' loyal servant. Herc defeated him once, but Hades has brought him back to fight Sora and his friends. He first stood watch for Hades in Hercules. The Rock Titan, immortal giant in the form of a stone crag. He has 2 heads, but can only think with one at a time. Defeated once by Hercules, he's now on the loose again, courtesy of Hades. He shook the scene in Hercules. Ice Titan. Defeated once by Hercules, he received new powers from Hades and resurfaced. His body is made from large blocks of seemingly impregnable ice, but the ice shaping his face is quite fragile. Naturally, he is weak against fire. He shook up the scene in Hercules. Tarzan, a young man raised from infancy by gorillas. His gorilla mother is Kala. Tarzan spoke only the language of apes until he met Jane. Since then, he's learning to speak English at an astonishing rate. He swung onto the scene in Tarzan 1999. Jane Porter, a naturalist who's in the jungle with Clayton, her guide, to study gorillas. She met Tarzan in the jungle and is gradually teaching him about human ways. She's courageous and will face any danger for her research. Exploring the jungle, she encountered Tarzan. Clayton, a veteran hunter, Jane's guide on her expedition to the jungles, he thinks of animals only as prey. His lust for power and the darkness in his heart attracted the Heartless, and they used him for their own evil purposes. He first sets his sight on the apes in Tarzan. Turk, a young female gorilla and Tarzan's close friend. She is protective of the other young gorillas and acts as their leader. Unlike the other gorillas, her curiosity about humans is greater than her fear of them. She was up to some monkey business in Tarzan. Kerchak, boss of the gorilla pack, he was against letting Tarzan join the group, but Kala's resolve won him over. Kerchak worries that Tarzan's contact with people will bring danger to the gorilla community. He established himself as leader of the pack in Tarzan. Kala, the gorilla who found Tarzan in the jungle, she has always helped and defended him, even when he was scorned by the others. Kala is not happy about Tarzan's contact with people, but she knows it's important to him. She was second Banana in Tarzan. Sabor, a leper feared by all who live in the jungle, and an enemy of Tarzan and the gorillas. Sabor is a cunning hunter who targets the weak and helpless. He stalked onto the scene in Tarzan. Okay, it's going to be a little bit longer, and I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of extra long episode, but I kind of want to do this now and not worry about it. Aladdin, a young man living in Agrabah. He helped Sora defeat Jafar and used his last wish to release Genie from the lamp. Aladdin asked Sora and his friends to help save Jasmine, who has been abducted. He stole the scene in Aladdin 1992. Genie, the spirit of the magic lamp who has been freed by Aladdin with his third wish. Genie has joined forces with Sora and his friends to rescue Jasmine from captivity. And this is how you use him as a summon. He granted our wish by appearing in Aladdin. Jasmine, spirited princess of Agrabah. Longing for a life of freedom, she slipped away from the palace and encountered Aladdin, who she quickly grew fond of. As one of the princesses with the power to open the keyhole, she was abducted by Jafar and the Heartless. She appeared in Aladdin. That's so boring. Jafar, the vizier of Agrabah. He joined forces with Maleficent and tried to control the Heartless. He gained control of the lamp and became a powerful genie, but was defeated by Sora and friends. He played the villain in Aladdin. Jafar Genie. With his last wish, he became an all-powerful genie himself, but forgot that all genies share the same fate, to serve whoever controls their lamp. In the end, his lamp became his prison. Abu, Aladdin's faithful fairy sidekick. Abu's size and ability to make him valuable in tight spots, he's got a weakness for jewels and treasure, and when he's around them, he can't think of anything else. He was all monkey business in Aladdin. Iago, Jafar's cunning, crotchety parrot. He's Jafar's eyes and ears as he flies around Agrabah, spying on his master's enemies. Iago takes after Jafar with a penchant for intrigue and evil. He squawked around in Aladdin. Carpet, a magic flying carpet loyal to Aladdin. Carpet can carry passengers over vastness of the desert at great speed. The Heartless had Carpet pinned to the floor under a chest. He enchanted us in Aladdin. Pinocchio, crafted by Geppetto, brought to life by the Blue Fairy. He'd have lost his heart to the Heartless if I hadn't come to the rescue. Now he's living in Traverstown with Geppetto and working very hard to become a real boy. There were no strings to hold him down in Pinocchio 1940. And the I in this statement is Jiminy. Geppetto, the kind, gentle clockmaker. Sora and his friends helped him escape from Monster's belly. These days, he's living in Traverstown and looking forward to the day Pinocchio becomes a real boy. He provided shelter in Pinocchio. Jiminy Cricket. That's me, the cricket who keeps Pinocchio on the straight and narrow. I'm on the quest as the royal chronicler. Look for me in Pinocchio. Ariel, Triton's youngest daughter. Ursula tricked her into helping steal his trident. With the help from Sora and the others, all was put right. Still, she'll never stop dreaming of exploring the world outside her father's palace. Her voice enchanted us in The Little Mermaid 1989. King Triton, king of Atlantica, who is backed by the power of his trident. He has forbidden Ariel to have any contact with outsiders, which only led her to yearn to grow even stronger. He ruled the seas in The Little Mermaid. Ursula, she deceived Ariel and stole the trident to take over Atlantica. Using its power, she became an enormous monster and battled Sora, Goofy, and Donald. She appeared in The Little Mermaid. Again, a boring way to put it. This is a lot of talking. Sebastian, Triton's concertmaster, a musical genius. The little crab is also responsible for keeping an eye on Ariel. To ensure her safety whenever she leaves the palace, he is on pins and needles. He conducted himself in The Little Mermaid. Flounder, Ariel's trusted friend. Flounder will do anything for her. He's small and not exactly brave, but he'll never leave Ariel's side even when it means facing danger. He also appeared in The Little Mermaid. Jetsam, Ursula's lackey, along with Flotsam, an evil moray eel. Jetsam is a smooth talker who loves to deceive. His specialty is using empty promises to lure unsuspecting mermen and mermaids into Ursula's clutches. He ran interference for Ursula in The Little Mermaid. Flotsam, mostly the same as Jetsam. Actually, exactly the same as Jetsam, but, yeah. Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King. He loves to scare people out of their wits, headstrong, confident, and likes grand gestures. Now he's working night and day to make this year's Halloween festival the greatest ever. He scared up some fun in Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, 1993. Sally, Dr. Finkelstein's creation. She's patched together from parts that sometimes come off and move about on their own. She loves Jack and tries to steer him in the right direction, though it doesn't always work. She appeared in Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, and apparently not important enough to get her own line. Boogie Boogie, the villain who tried to take over Halloween Town from what? There's no from there. The villain who tried to take over Halloween Town. The heart he stole from Dr. Finkelstein attracted the Heartless, and the result was his doom. He came apart at the seams in Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Dr. Finkelstein, the mad scientist who created a heart to help Jack control the Heartless dancing. Sally is another of his creations. She helps him around the lab, but she'd much rather spend time with Jack. He created some scares in Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Zero, Jack's ghost dog. He comes out of his grave whenever Jack calls. He's very loyal to his master and loves it when Jack plays with him. He's loyally followed Jack in Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Locke, the ringleader of the trio that includes Shock and Barrel. Their walking bathtub helps them get around while they commit all kinds of mischief. They sometimes help Oogie, but they're not really fond of him. He created havoc in Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Shock. Along with Lock and Barrel, she's part of Oogie Boogie's plot to take over Halloween Town. Shock is the most cunning member of the trio. She keeps her cool when the other two are losing it. She created havoc in Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Barrel, a member of the trio that includes Lock and Shock. He's a little slow and often ends up as the butt of his partner's pranks and practical jokes. He also created havoc in Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. The mayor, the two-faced mayor of Halloween Town. He switches from his happy face to his sad face depending on his mood, which changes constantly. He's working with Jack to make this year's festival the best ever. He appeared in Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, but apparently not spectacular enough to get his own a jig. Peter Pan, the flying boy from Neverland, where no one ever grows up. He can be stubborn, but he's also fearless and has a strong sense of justice. He snuck on board Hook's ship to rescue Wendy, who was kidnapped. He led the Lost Boys in Peter Pan 1953. Tinkerbell, the little pixie from Neverland. Peter Pan asked for her to accompany Sora and friends on their quest, but she's anxious to see Peter. Here's how she's useful in summoning. She made us believe in fairies in Peter Pan. Wendy, a dreamy girl whose wish to visit Neverland came true. Peter Pan showed her the way, but she got caught up in Hook's vendetta against Peter and was kidnapped by Hook. She watched over the Lost Boys in Peter Pan. Captain Hook, the pirate with a grudge against Peter Pan, who caused him to lose his hand to the crocodile. He threw in his lot with Maleficent and the Heartless, but ended up being chased over the horizon by the crocodile. He hooked us in Peter Pan. I really wanted it to say he hooked us in Peter Pan. I guess that would have looked weird. Mr. Smee, Hook's first mate. He lives to take orders from Hook, but he's slow-witted as Hook is obnoxious. He appeared in Peter Pan, 1953. These are all the side characters. I do want to start from the end here. Unknown, a mysterious figure who appeared in Hollow Bastion. Ansem, as a researcher and ruler of his world, he studied the Heartless and delved into many worlds. Blah. I'm going to start over. As a researcher and ruler of his world, he studied the Heartless and delved into the many secrets of the worlds. While studying the heart and darkness within it, he was possessed by darkness and ultimately destroyed his own world. He sacrificed his body to obtain great power, and later possessed Riku to regain a physical presence. Failure to stop him means the end of all worlds. And I am going to just show you right on his chest there. That little emblem. Dragon. Maleficent became a huge dragon when the Keyblade released the darkness in her heart. The dragon wielded both Maleficent's power and the terrible force of darkness. Maleficent's most powerful alter ego first appeared in Sleeping Beauty, 1959. I don't know if it's her most powerful, but you know. Maleficent, a sorceress of awesome power. She tried to use the Heartless for her own evil ends, but the Heartless were actually using her. She turned into a huge dragon when cornered by Sora and his friends. She first appeared to curse Aurora in Sleeping Beauty. Beast, a prince who was changed into a hideous beast because of his selfish heart. Belle has helped heal the loneliness he suffered due to his ugliness. To save Belle, he made his way to Hollow Bastion alone. He was first enchanted by Belle in Beauty and the Beast, 1991. Belle, a brave and intelligent young woman who understands the Beast's true nature. She's one of the 7 princesses needed to open the final keyhole. She and Beast have lost their world to the darkness. She appeared at the Beast Castle for the first time in Beauty and the Beast. Aurora, a young woman with a lovely voice. She is loved by the 3 good fairies and cursed by Maleficent. The sorceress captured Aurora to help open the final keyhole. She had her first encounter with Maleficent in Sleeping Beauty. Cinderella, a hard-working young girl who's often bullied by her stepmother and her stepsisters. She is one of the princesses needed to open the final keyhole. Was captured by the Heartless, her world has already been destroyed. Prince Charming first swept her away in Cinderella, 1950. Snow White, a beautiful princess, gentle and pure as snow. She is one of the princesses needed to open the final keyhole and was captured by the Heartless. Her world has already been swallowed by the darkness. The fair-skinned princess first appeared in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in 1937. I think that's the first one. I think Snow White was there first. Yeah, Snow White. Muggles. Muggles escaped Travers Town when the Heartless invaded their home. They know how to combine various items to form new ones, and they have appeared in many Final Fantasies. Waka, a boy who lived on the Destiny Islands. He looks out for Tidus and Selphie like a big brother. Nobody knows what happened to him after his island disappeared. From Final Fantasy X. Selphie, a spunky girl who lived on the Destiny Islands. She is rather impulsive and quite the romanticist. Nobody knows what happened to her after her island disappeared. Final Fantasy VIII. Tidus, a cheerful, self-confident boy who lived on the Destiny Islands. He considers himself a champ at everything. Nobody knows what happened to him after his island disappeared. Final Fantasy X. Sid, owner of an accessory shop in Travers Town, a highly skilled engineer and a first-rate pilot. When the Heartless invaded his world, he escaped to Travers Town on a gummy ship he'd built himself. He's an expert on gummy ships. Final Fantasy VII. I will also mention there is basically a Sid in almost every Final Fantasy game, but that's the particular one they're using. Sephiroth, once known as the greatest of swordsmen, his whereabouts have been unknown for some time. He challenged Sora to a one-on-one duel. No one knows why he has suddenly returned. Apparently he and Cloud have crossed paths before. Final Fantasy VII. Cloud, a fighter hired by Hades to compete in the Colosseum. Despite his association with Hades, his heart remains untouched by the Heartless. Cloud keeps very much to himself, which makes him something of an enigma. What is he seeking? Final Fantasy VII. Aerith. She lost her home to the Heartless at a very young age. Beneath her gentle disposition lies a strong will and firm sense of duty. Many are naturally drawn to her. Aerith works with Leon and Yuffie to learn more about the Heartless and the Key. She's from Final Fantasy VII. Yuffie, a female ninja who escaped to Travers Town when her home was taken by the Heartless. She stays strong and cheerful in any situation. She works with Leon and Aerith to unravel the secrets of the Key. Also from Final Fantasy VII. Leon, a swordsman who wields the gunblade. His real name, Squall Leonard. He escaped to Travers Town when the Heartless raided his homeworld. To part with his old self, a man who had been helpless to stop them, he changed his name. Since meeting the king, who has been so vigilant against the Heartless, Leon sought the truth behind the Key. Final Fantasy VIII. The Brooms, enchanted brooms with a life of their own. They tidy up, maintain the gummy ship, do house repairs, wait on others, just about anything useful. They swept onto the screen in Fantasia, 1940. 99 puppies. Pongo and Perdita's puppies. When they work together, they can be tough to beat. Ever since their world was destroyed by the darkness, they've been trying to get back together again. They were first spotted on scene in 101 Dalmatians in 1961. Perdita, a beautiful Dalmatian. With her partner Pongo, she takes care of 99 Dalmatian puppies. Perdita will brave any danger to protect her spotted charges. Perdita was first spotted on screen in 101 Dalmatians. Pongo, a brave and intelligent Dalmatian. With his mate Perdita, he looks after 99 Dalmatian puppies. Quick-witted Pongo is an expert at escaping from tight spots. Pongo was first spotted on screen in 101 Dalmatians. The Fairy Godmother, a powerful and generous, good-hearted fairy who helps Sora and his friends. Slightly absent-minded, but an expert at magic. She gives Sora and the others lessons in magic as well as advice on their journey. She first appeared in as Cinderella's fairy godmother in Cinderella. Merlin, the great sorcerer living on the outskirts of Traverse Town. Merlin's wisdom and magic power ranks second to none, and he teaches Sora and his friends about magic. He has a mysterious bag that can hold anything, no matter how large. Merlin first tutored Arthur in how to be a king in The Sword and the Stone, 1963. Louis, one of Donald's 3 nephews, works with his brothers in a shop in Traverse Town, gentle and carefree, but notices a lot of things others miss. To find him, look for a green cap. Louis began tormenting his Uncle Donald in Donald's Nephews, 1938. Dewey, one of Donald's 3 nephews, always wears a blue cap. Cheerful and easygoing, he works with his brothers in a shop in Traverse Town. Dewey began tormenting his Uncle Donald in Donald's Nephews. Huey, one of Donald's 3 nephews, Huey is the leader, and he keeps playful Dewey and laid-back Louie in line. You can spot Huey by his trademark red cap. Huey began tormenting his Uncle Donald in Donald's Nephews as well. Dale, one of the kingdom's specialists, helps maintain the gummy ship, which can travel to any destination. Compared to the more serious Chip, he takes a happy-go-lucky approach to life. Chip and Dale's first appearance was in Private Pluto, 1943. Chip, one of the kingdom's specialists, helps maintain the gummy ship, which can travel to any destination. Chip is more serious and diligent than his easygoing, playful partner Dale. Chip and Dale first appearance was in Private Pluto, 1943. Pluto, Mickey's faithful dog. Pluto is more than a pet. He and Mickey are bound by strong ties of loyalty. Pluto set out with the others to find his master. Will that famous nose of his lead him to Mickey? Pluto originally appeared in The Chain Gang, 1930. Daisy Duck, Donald's sweetheart. She's helping Minnie while the others look for King Mickey. She has Donald under her thumb and does a good job of keeping him in line. She originally appeared as Daisy in Mr. Duck Steps Out, 1940. Minnie Mouse, Queen of Disney Castle, ruling in Mickey's absence. I, Jiminy Cricket, am accompanying Donald and Goofy as royal chronicler at her request. Queen Minnie is more concerned than anyone about the king's disappearance. Minnie made her screen debut in Steamboat Willie, 1928. Goofy, captain of the Royal Knights, he avoids fighting whenever possible, Mickey's most loyal subject. Because Mickey said to follow the keybearer, he once left Sora to follow Riku, but friendship soon led him back to Sora. Goofy made his first screen appearance in Mickey's Review, 1932. Donald Duck, royal magician, skilled in magic, but short-tempered and stubborn. Because Mickey said to follow the keybearer, he once left Sora to follow Riku, but friendship soon led him back to Sora. Donald made his screen debut in The Wise Little Hen in 1934. Mickey Mouse, the king of Disney Castle, he set out to learn more about the darkness and left instructions for Donald and Goofy to find and follow the keybearer. No one knows where King Mickey is now, but they are determined to find him. He made his debut in Steamboat Willie, 1928. Kairi, Sora, and Riku have always hung out together. When their island vanished, Kairi lost her heart. It turned out that it was hidden within Sora's. As one of the princesses with the power to unlock the secret keyhole, Kairi restored Sora's heart when he was turned into a Heartless. And this is her first appearance. Riku. When Kairi lost her heart, Riku allied himself with Maleficent to save her. Riku was actually the rightful master of the Keyblade, but once he chose darkness over light, the weapon chose Sora instead. Ansem exploited Riku's weakness of heart and possessed him. Sora, the one who fights the Heartless. Upon reclaiming the Keyblade from his rival Riku, Sora sacrificed his heart to free Kairi and became a Heartless. Kairi's deep feelings for Sora restored him. Now he must confront Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness. Okay, that was a lot, and a lot of talking. And if you stayed around for all of that, I do appreciate it. But I thought some people would like to know a lot of what that says, and kind of little bit descriptions of everybody, and kind of recapping a lot of the things that we've seen so far. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye-bye.